Say what you want about Jordan Peterson. Maybe you agree with his advice or not. Maybe you like him or not. But one thing is for certain. I definitely believe that he cares about the people that he wants to help. And you can see it in this interview. He started crying when he was asked what does he think about people calling him the king of incels. And obviously, this was used as a mockery, as an insult. But if you stop to think a little bit, why billion-dollar corporations with their lackeys who are billionaires, who are very famous people, who are very influential people, why do they keep attacking vulnerable young men? Because those men are someone's sons, they're someone's relatives, they're someone's brothers. Why are they constantly attacking them rather than trying to help them out? Human beings aren't meant to be alone. We seek companionship. And you have men who are, within the title, involuntary celibates. And because of that, they deserve the mockery and ridicule of the mainstream media. I mean, it's in the title, involuntary. It's not like they want to be in that position. And when you finally have someone who is willing to help these men out, that person is now being ridiculed as well for trying. I mean, think about it. If you're a young adult in the modern time in the West, when exactly can you learn on how to behave like a man? Hopefully from your parents. But what if your parents aren't available? What if your parents are computer programmers and they don't have that much time to stay at home because they're crunching the numbers? What if you end up being born without parents? Where exactly are you going to learn on how to be a proper man? And the answer is probably from the school system, probably from television, the mainstream media. At least when I grew up, there were shows like Big Bang Theory, How I Met Your Mother, Friends, and all of these shows had the same thing in common. They were trying to create the reality of a character that's just like you, the young adult, who doesn't have a significant other, but finally he manages to meet the girl that they have a chemistry with, but the girl isn't interested. So a lot of young men, they're looking at that and they're saying, wow, that's just like me. Well, how is he going to do it? How is he going to manage to attract the girl? And the message within these romantic comedies is completely wrong. Because the message is that you need to constantly pursue the girl, constantly do whatever she wants, and after 7 seasons, she will eventually notice the guy, and she will eventually get in a relationship, get married, happy ending. That is not reality. So clearly, pop culture isn't going to train you on how to become a man. Then maybe the newspapers can. Maybe if you read The Guardian, maybe if you read the BBC, maybe if you watch CNN, or maybe if you read Variety magazine. Well, you have feminism. And feminism is the movement that's supposed to help women. And you think, well, clearly, if I try to help women, they're going to like me. Unfortunately, the movement isn't going to teach you how to be a good husband. The movement is going to teach you how to be a good soldier, how to be a good drone, and push the culture war and spread the ideology. And it's misleading. I remember years ago on many forums there were men saying, well, I did everything that feminism told me and I still am unable to get a girlfriend. And they were mocked and ridiculed on the forums, saying that, well, a woman doesn't have to give you attention, which is true. But like, they were very confused because they didn't understand why it is not working. They were following all of the guidelines, removing all of their toxic masculinity, correcting other men when they were making sexist jokes, going on forums, promoting female Ghostbusters, and yet doing all of these things wasn't getting the results that they were initially interested in. So what else can a young man do in order to figure out how exactly he needs to behave in order to attract a significant other. Well, I guess he can go to a pickup artist, which is probably going to milk him of money, give him some really bad advice. And that's also not something desirable. And here you have a person like Jordan Peterson, which I do believe genuinely gives solid advice. He is saying that you need to improve yourself as a person. You need to respect yourself. You need to clean up your room, as in get your own life in order before trying to change the world. And after improving yourself, after showing that you can take care of yourself, then you become more desirable. But unfortunately, this type of advice isn't what the culture needs, because the culture needs subservience. They need foot soldiers in the culture war. They need people that follow orders, that obey. And when you have someone that is capable of thinking for themselves, that's not desirable, which is why I think they are constantly attacking Jordan Peterson, who again isn't doing anything illegal. He's not saying something that's different than what your grandfather or grandmother would say. He's saying things that are common sense. But in a world where nothing makes sense, the person who says common sense is problematic. So I think that is why, and I can give you an example of what I'm talking about. Pop culture, for example, gives you the advice that if you're a man, you should cry more. You should share your feelings with other people. So if you follow this advice in order to avoid toxic masculinity, what you end up having is people mocking you for it. Because as we go into the comment section, we see this guy loves crying so much. He cries more than a pregnant woman. These are people who are progressives. I mean, they're the commentators on Variety magazine. The reason that men don't cry is not just because most of the time we don't feel the need to, but it's also because when you do cry in public, you show vulnerability. Now, unlike women, who when show vulnerability get the desire of men to protect them, men who show vulnerability get the desire of other people to attack them. It's like dripping blood into the water, and we see this every single time a man cries in public. Whether it's Jordan Peterson, whether it is Kavanaugh, whether it is Kyle Rittenhouse, no matter who cries in public, you are going to see the most vicious and vitriolic attacks from the progressives. So their message, in order to help you, is, well, in order to remove toxic masculinity, you need to be more in touch with the feelings. You need to try and cry whenever you have to. And if you listen to that advice, it is so detrimental. Because if you're already emotionally damaged and you feel the need to share that, you're going to be even more attacked. Like, it's even worse than if you kept it in. So that is one of the things that I noticed. And look at this, like found the incel. And again, this is a person who had to see his wife dying from cancer. This is a person that's viciously attacked every day. I mean, yes, he cries every now and then, just like the progressives want. And you can see what happens when you do so. He says about the incels, it's very difficult to understand how demoralized people are. And certainly many young men are in this category. You get these casual insults, these incels, what do they mean? These men, they don't know how to make themselves attractive to women who are very picky. And good for them. Women like be picky. That's your gift. Demand high standards from your men. Fair enough. But all these men who are alienated, it's like they're lonesome and they don't know what to do and everyone piles and abuses them. Why is what he said something wrong? Like, you have people that are seeking help. Like, they want to be helped. They need someone to help them. And there are no institutions, there are very few people, there are very few resources that are willing to actually help them and not take advantage of them. And this whole thing, it's like, oh no, we need to ostracize them. Why though? Like, if someone can be helped, and it's in the title, involuntary. If someone wants to be helped, if someone needs the help, what is wrong with the help being provided for them? What is with the sadism that I see from the culture, no, we must abuse them further. Again, those men are someone's son. Like, if you don't care about men and you only care about women, women have sons. Every child that's a boy can end up in a situation where they don't know where to go in life. But anyway, it's just bewildering. Now, I'm no Jordan Peterson, but if I were to give the definition of what is a man, and someone came to me and asked me, like, how can I be a man? I often talk about this with leftists, and I think I managed to give a satisfactory answer to what is a man, to the point where they don't have any further questions. A man is a person that has other people relying on him. So, if an individual disappears tomorrow, and there are other people around him who are in grave distress because they were relying on him, then that is a man. So, in order to be a man, you have to first be able to take care of yourself, to be independent. And when you reach that level, you become a young adult. Because a boy is someone who has their parents or other people taking care of him. So the first thing to do is to take care of yourself, to be independent. And then you become a young adult. And when you are able to also take care of others, that's when you become a man. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is to be a woman. Like, that is something that even a judge on the Supreme Court of the United States doesn't know. Not my area of expertise. I just talk from my lived experiences. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.